Within the air-conditioned four walls of the corporate office, an invisible game of power is played constantly. Here, some people, blinded by the arrogance of their rank, routinely crush the self-respect of ordinary, hardworking employees. It was to wash away this malignancy that a young man entered this organization in disguise. His name was Arham. He had spent a few days here as an ordinary intern, whose main objective was to observe the true face of every corner of the office from up close. In these few days, Arham understood one thing clearly: the glamour of clothing or position does not make a person great. If there was anyone most respected in this office, it was Hamid Bhai. This middle-aged man who carried heavy water jars on his shoulders every day, had a straight spine, and his mind was filled with a strange simplicity. Arham had taken a silent oath in his mind that he would restore the due respect and rights. However, he knew that one must remain calm before the storm. He was waiting for the right time. That day, just like the scorching midday sun, the office environment suddenly grew heated. Rumors spread that a significant amount of money had vanished from the company's cooperative society fund. The news did not take long to spread. Within moments, the quiet office turned into a buzzing marketplace. Someone whispered while arranging files, "It could be a mistake in the calculations too." Another person tapped the table and muttered through clenched teeth, "Not a mistake, brother, this is the work of someone inside. The ghost is right inside the mustard seed." Right in the middle of this commotion, Assistant Manager Fariha entered the hall like a storm. She held some files in her hand, and her fair face had turned red with anger. Her high-heeled shoes made an aggressive sound against the floor. Standing right in the middle of the hall, she screamed, "Everyone shut up, I know very well who this thief is." A pin-drop silence fell over the entire room. Fariha raised her hand and pointed her finger toward the door, where at that very moment Hamid Bhai was entering with tired steps, carrying a water gallon on his shoulder. Fariha said in a sharp voice, "This is the work of no one else but this Hamid." Hamid Bhai felt as if he fell from the sky. Even as he tried to put the gallon down on the floor, his hands were trembling. With a pale face, he stammered, "Madam, I only came to place the water, I didn't even touch that money box." "Shut your mouth." Fariha did not listen to a single word of his. Pointing her finger in front of everyone, she rebuked him sharply. "It is because of people with dirty mindsets like yours that the company is in this state today. The habit of stealing never goes away. You should be kicked out right this instant." The other employees standing around kept their heads bowed. No one dared to utter a single word. Everyone knew that Fariha had great connections with the upper management. Going against her meant putting one's own job at risk forever. Instead of standing against injustice, securing their own future seemed better to everyone at that moment. Within an hour, the Human Resources HR department called Hamid Bhai and handed him a harsh notice. Hamid Bhai's face turned pale with insult and defamation. Without making any further attempt to defend himself, hiding the tears that were dripping from his eyes, he walked out of the office with his head bowed. Arham was watching this entire scene from a distance. The blood inside him was boiling, but he kept his emotions under control. He knew how innocent Hamid Bhai was, but seeing this shameless blindness of the corporate world, his heart grew sick. When the night grew deep, the office lights turned off one by one. When the entire building was silent, Arham quietly entered the security room. Tactfully removing the guard on duty, he sat in front of the main computer and pulled up the CCTV footage of the cooperative room. Arham's eyes sparkled in the light of the screen. The footage clearly showed Hamid Bhai entered the room, placed the water gallon in its designated spot with utmost honesty, and walked straight out of the room. He did not even look at the money box from a distance. Arham took a long sigh of relief, but that relief instantly turned into a terrible anger. He copied the video onto a flash drive and pocketed it. Looking at his own reflection in the mirror, he whispered, "Time has run out, Fariha. The time to break this empire of injustice has finally come." The next morning, the office atmosphere was different, a strange, tense silence. Everyone could sense that a big storm was coming. Right at 10 o'clock, a glossy black luxury car stopped in front of the main gate of the office. Seeing the person who stepped out after opening the car door, even the security guard's hand froze while saluting. Wearing a flawless black suit, dark sunglasses on his eyes, and a royal elegance in his appearance, this young man was none other than Arham. However, there was no trace of that ordinary intern in today's Arham. Today, he appeared in his true identity. By then, all the high-ranking officials had taken their seats in the meeting hall. Fariha came forward to welcome Arham with a thin, artificial, and flattering smile on her face. She still did not know Arham's true identity. She thought perhaps a big foreign investor or a new partner of the company had arrived. Fariha extended her hand and said, "Good morning, sir. I am Fariha, the assistant manager of this branch. A warm welcome to you to our organization." Arham looked at her and smiled gently. There was no warmth in that smile, there was a cold mockery. He said in a calm but grave voice, "Thank you, Fariha, but there is no need to introduce yourself anew. I know very well about you and your way of working." Fariha's smile froze for a moment. An unknown fear twisted inside her chest. Arham looked at his personal assistant and gestured, "Let's start the meeting." The huge projector screen in the hall came alive, and there yesterday's CCTV footage began to play. The air in the entire hall seemed to freeze. It was clearly visible on the screen how, without any proof, Fariha had insulted an innocent, helpless person like an animal in front of everyone, and shifted the blame onto someone else to cover up her own fault or negligence. As the video ended, a pin-drop silence filled the entire room. No one dared to take a breath. Arham stood up from his seat. His voice sounded like thunder throughout the hall. "For the past few days I was right among you. Not as an official dropped from the sky, but as an ordinary human being. I wanted to see how strong the foundation of this institution built by my father is. I wanted to see who is working here with honesty and who is blinded by the arrogance of power. But to my utter regret, I saw how some people here can crush an honest and hardworking man under their feet just to show their flimsy ego." All the blood seemed to have been drained from Fariha's face. She was trembling with fear, not even having the courage to look into Arham's eyes. Then, at Arham's command, Hamid Bhai was called into the meeting room. Hamid Bhai was still cowering in fear, wearing his ordinary, faded clothes. Arham himself stepped down from his seat, went to stand in front of Hamid Bhai and placed his hand on his shoulder. "Hamid Bhai," Arham said in a very soft voice, "from today you are no longer an ordinary worker of this office. From today you are the logistics coordinator of this company. This is not charity, this is the worthy reward for your honesty, dedication, and years of hard work. This company honors itself by being able to respect a person like you." Tears burst out of Hamid Bhai's eyes. The neglect faced over the years and the sky-high respect today combining everything, he could not speak a word. He just held Arham's hands and began to cry silently. That crying was of ultimate liberation. Then Arham turned toward Fariha. "Those who do not have humanity in their hearts, who do not know how to respect a colleague, have no place in this organization." Fariha was terminated from her job immediately. However, there was no spirit of revenge inside Arham. After the meeting, he called Fariha to his personal cabin. Placing an envelope on the table, he said, "Fariha, life does not end here. Even if arrogance gives temporary power to a person, at the end of the day, it leaves them destitute. This is a card for our leadership and humanity training program. I want you to go there, understand your mistakes, and start life anew as a true human being." Fariha took the card in her hand as if spellbound. Tears of remorse were rolling down her eyes then. She bowed her head, offered a silent thank you to Arham, and walked out of the room. The next morning's sun seemed to shine upon a new office. Today there is no discrimination there, no arrogance of rank. From the big officials of the office to the ordinary workers, everyone is working shoulder to shoulder. They have realized that a person's true identity does not lie in their expensive clothes, position, or bank balance. A person's true identity lies hidden in their character, their honesty, and the humanity within them. The true identity of a person is not found in their clothes, but hidden within their humanity. Arham could have punished Fariha, but instead he gave her a chance to change. Because true victory lies not in revenge, but in transformation and love. Friends, if today's story has touched your heart even a little, if you feel that our society truly needs someone like Arham, then please encourage us by giving this video a like. And if you want to enjoy more inspiring, educational, and heart-touching stories like this on a regular basis, click the subscribe button below and turn on the bell icon. Your single like and subscribe give us the strength to bring you more beautiful stories. Be sure to share your valuable thoughts about today's story in the comments. See you in another